Hi. So last video, I talked about what led to the end of my marriage and me leaving him. So if you want to see that, go back to the last video. But this is the continuation of where I actually got my divorce. It took me a year. After I moved out, I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, to tell you the truth, why I waited a year to file for a divorce, but I probably shouldn't have. But it took me a year. For that year, we were living separately. We remained in touch in little ways. We didn't hang out or anything like that, but we remained in touch. But anyway, at one point I asked him if he could help me move something. I had something heavy that I really needed to get in my house that I had ordered that was delivered outside. And he brought his friend over, a friend of his over, and helped me move it. I paid him. He wouldn't have done it without money. That's just the way it is. But that was okay. But anyway, his friend, his crackhead friend, at least that's what he called him, a friend that he partied a lot with, decided he really liked me. Well, anyway, my ex started coming at me, trying to get me to go out with this guy. I said, you told me he was a crackhead friend and liked to party, which is something I wasn't into at all. But he was still trying and trying. Later on, I found out that this guy actually offered to give him $500 if he could get him a date with me. That totally shocked me. I knew my ex was like a total, I won't say the word, but I didn't know he was that bad that he was going to try to pimp me out to somebody who was a crackhead and a partier, somebody that I totally would have never gotten into. It was just like, that is what made me decide, I gotta divorce this guy. It's like, we can't go on like this. There's no way. So I filed for divorce. I went and got a lawyer. I spent the last of my savings on the lawyer, just about. And she said, and I thought it was going to be a nice, easy divorce because he was all for it. He didn't care. It was like, okay, let's get divorced. Then my divorce lawyer said, okay, your name is on the mobile home loan as well as the lot rent agreement where your ex is living. You have to get it off. You have to kick him out, basically, because he couldn't get all that in only his name because he had bad credit. So I have to kick him out and I have to get that place sold, and I can't let him live there with my name on everything. He wasn't too happy about that at all, losing his house. But it was like, what can I do? Well, anyway, we made an agreement that I'd put the place up for sale. I found out the appraisal on it was only about what we owed still on the mobile home loan, so we weren't going to make any money from the sale. But anyway, he went and left and moved to Florida. Meanwhile, my name is on everything, so everybody's coming after me for all this money. The lot rent manager, he even sent it to court. So I had a court order to appear in court. I had to pay all this money, and I'm like, because I found out even after he left, he was like 4 months behind on the rent. I was like, oh my gosh, I should have known not to trust this guy. I should have never left him live there to begin with. This is all totally my fault, and this is just a lesson learned for my stupidity and a lesson for everybody else who's watching this. Don't leave your spouse with something like that if it has your name on it too. But anyway, what happened was I wound up, when I told my lawyer all this, that I didn't have the money to pay all this, and I had it was just like So she told me to go get a bankruptcy lawyer. She referred me to somebody, so I did. I felt really bad. I was always one of these people that always kept I was really good at paying my bills and keeping my credit rating up. I was really, to do something like this, to have to file bankruptcy really pissed me off. But I couldn't afford it because when I left him, I also left with a big loan. I got a bunch of our bills and put it into this one personal loan because I knew he wasn't going to pay for all that on top of what the lot rent and the mobile home loan was. So I was really strapped. I had no money, and it was like, but I didn't know what to do. I had court. I didn't want to appear in court, and I couldn't pay it. There was nothing I could do. So I ruined my credit and filed for bankruptcy. And that was it. Although I was really bummed about having to do that, it was very freeing, I have to admit. Because after that, it was like I owed nothing to anybody. It was like all I had was my normal bills, my apartment rent, and the bills that came with that. And it was rather freeing. It was like all of a sudden I could afford everything. I didn't need no credit cards. Why do I need a credit card? I don't need no loan. So I went along with that. And one of the good things about filing for bankruptcy really did ruin my credit. But when I filed for bankruptcy, I had 2 credit cards with a credit limit of I think it was like $12,000 or $14,000 between the 2 of them that I hadn't had any balance on. So I didn't get in touch with them or anything. But I was wondering whether they would still find my record of bankruptcy and close the credit cards. So I just left those credit cards alone, even though I thought they were still open. I didn't want to do anything to jeopardize anything. For about a year. And then once the year mark hit, I started using them little by little. I'd buy groceries on it or use them for gas for my car and pay them off at the end of the month. Just to get my credit rating back up. Now this is the way to get your credit rating back up pretty quickly. And I did manage to get it up. I was surprised the credit cards did not find out about my bankruptcy, so they did not drop me. But I was happy about that. But in the end, everything turned out well. But still, looking back on it, I do not feel good about all that, and I hope that shouldn't happen again because I don't plan on ever getting married. I'm going to rely totally on myself. I'm the only one that I can trust. I've learned that, and I ain't going back. I know a lot of people get remarried and all that, and it's like, there ain't no way I'm ever doing that because I just don't have a good time. Don't have a good track record of picking good people. Anyway, this is my story, and please don't do what I did if you're getting a divorce or planning on it. Anyway, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.